Now, let's get the latest on a truly terrible story from Nigeria. 190 schoolgirls are still missing. They were abducted last week by Islamists. You'd think that would be a matter of huge importance for the government, but we've still not heard a word from President Jonathan or anyone else in his government. Now, this all happened, let me show you on the map here, this all happened in the town of Chibok in Borno State. It's about an hour north on the plain from Abuja, and as you can see, it's just south of Maiduguri, a city in Borno State which knows an awful lot about what Boko Haram can do, also close to the Cameroon border. And if we go in even further, you'll see a forest. It's called the Zambiza Forest. We don't know exactly where these girls are, but it's suspected that they could be being held within the trees in this forest. Now, despite the fact this happened last Monday, so that's 8 days ago, it's been incredibly difficult to get pictures out of Borno State showing exactly what's happened. But we have today received some which show the destruction at this school. Let me just show this to you. Believe it or not, what you're seeing there is a dormitory. These were beds. They've been completely burnt out. You can see the extent of the destruction at the school. Some government officials are surveying the damage. That's who you're seeing there, along with parents of the missing girls. Now, as I was saying, 190 of them have been abducted. Some, though, did manage to escape, and they have been able to speak to the media in the last day or so. This is one girl. We blurred her face to protect her identity.
We thought they were soldiers, and they asked us to board a vehicle which headed towards Damboa. And my friends and I jumped from the vehicle and ran back home because we realized they didn't look innocent.
Well, we were talking about this earlier on Outside Source Radio. Our correspondent Will Ross was helping us find out the work he's doing to try and establish what's been happening. And Will has been tweeting all day long on this story, an invaluable source of information. Here he says, Chibok community praying and fasting for the release of those girls who've been taken. Another one here from Will. This is a relative. I'm so sad when I think about all my school friends who are in the bush. We are all praying for God to release them so they come back home. Will in Tune is Will's Twitter handle, and you can get those details through at BBC OS. Well, another BBC correspondent working on this story is Thomas Fessy, and while this attack has taken place in Nigeria, it seems that Boko Haram is getting assistance from across the border in Niger. Thomas Fessy's been talking to a local gang who say they do work for Boko Haram in return for money. Let's see Thomas' exclusive report.
Boko Haram have shown that they can hit the Nigerian state in different ways. Bomb attacks, raiding villages, attacking schools and abducting children. For now, Nigeria's neighbors are only dealing with the consequences of this violence. But the prospect of this same violence spilling over is becoming more of a question of not if, but when they may strike here. Mitigating the threat means daily patrols along a porous border. Several attacks have been foiled over the last months, and dozens of men suspected to be linked to Boko Haram have been arrested. We've made contact with a local gang whose members claim they are collaborating with Boko Haram. They've agreed to talk to us, but we can't show their faces. The gang members are all in their early 20s. They've told us that 5 of their group have joined the Nigerian militants. 2 have already been killed on operations.
Some
of us are with them now, and we here give them information about what is going on. They come to us and we inform them.
And if they tell you to launch an attack here, would you be ready to do that?
Yes, we are ready. We have no job, so we are ready. That's what we are here for.
Boko Haram, they say, have paid them $3,000 to join their insurgency. But it's the cash they want. They have no interest in defending Sharia law.
Well, an important and exclusive report there from the BBC's Thomas Fessy. There is a longer version of that report, which you can see through the BBC News website. If you go to our Africa section, just bbc.com/Africa, you'll very easily find the longer version of that report. Now, let's go across and speak to Aliyu Tanko from BBC House, which has many millions of listeners in northern Nigeria. First of all, I was mentioning that forest in Borno State, some speculation the girls are there. Do we know they're being held there?
Well, that is what the speculation is saying, and some of these parents that have gone to the forest to look for their daughters said it's somewhere around the Sambisa forest. So this issue of Sambisa forest is likely the destination of these girls.
And I have to say, we were talking about David Moyes earlier. Lots of Nigerians have been messaging us today saying he got sacked, our president should be sacked, because he is not talking about this. He's not leading the effort. Why have we heard so little from the government?
Well, that is the question that many Nigerians have been asking, because the same day that these girls were abducted last week, he was seen on tape dancing in northern city of Kano in a campaign mood, talking to people on a very high tone, and other things. So people in Nigeria feel the government is an insensitive one, and it is not doing enough to rescue these girls.
So that's the government. What about Boko Haram itself? We've talked many times on Outside Source about attacks where they kill people. Why would they have chosen to abduct 200 girls? What's their objective here?
That's many questions people are finding answers to, because the first thing is, these girls, so those that managed to escape, said they were not tortured, they are not, there was nothing to show that the Boko Haram members have any ill feeling towards them. But what we don't know is if the group is likely, taking these girls hostage to negotiate with government, maybe in return for money or something like that.
Aliyu, thank you very much indeed. Do follow BBC Hausa on Facebook if you want more information